Welcome to the StockManor.com studios. I'm your Stock Mentor, Brian Johnson, entering a new week of trading and nothing but bullish action. Looking very strong for the bulls. Continued action to the upside all week long. Still in my same response of I am cautiously bullish on this rally. Just doesn't mean I'm not going long. Just means that I'm very cautious about holding overnight position sizes and such. So you guys can make your own trading plan when it comes to that, but I would caution you against getting too overly bullish in the expectations that this is going to last for another 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 2 months or whatever it might be. It would be an incredible run, and it certainly is possible. It's just the odds are against this market of at least not getting at least a pullback here. And I mean a sizable pullback. This little move that we had from this 10,800 back to 10,650, that isn't a pullback. Okay? In the bigger scheme of things, that's not a big, healthy pullback. We will get one sooner or later. Might come this week. Keep in mind that we're coming into month end, so I would assume that there's going to be some opportunities to make portfolios look really pretty maybe before the end of the week, but we'll see. We'll see. Last time we saw something similar to that, things started to crash towards the end of that month, and it didn't quite turn out as pretty as maybe it would have or could have ended up. So we might see some of that coming into this week, but as it stands right now, point is, there's nothing broken from the bull side. There really is not. Look at this 60-minute chart up here. Just no real breaks. I went ahead and played around with this bottom line ever so slightly now that we've got an extra week of trading behind us. And we did really kind of break the line over here, but look what we held. We held some pretty strong support that's holding very, very nicely in through here, and we launched from there in the market. So the bull's still firmly in control. Bears have no interest in really selling off this thing. When it does happen, yes, I do expect it to be big. I do expect big red bars for a few days, and I'm just going to look at it as just a few-day pullback. Nothing more major than that. I just can't. There's nothing broken from a bull side here. Everything looks very good from the bull side. So here we push our way up in the Dow up to the 10,900 mark. We're seeing this in a lot of the other indices, and most of them are actually starting to break out through the top of that. The Dow, being the lagger, is just taking a little bit more time to get there. So 10,900, anything up over about 10,900 or 10,925, still not a bad place to look to take a little bit of a long position if you're going to day trade this. So be careful, obviously, if you're going to be holding too much overnight. But any hard breaks up and over 10,900 could take us up into all of these 11,000 marks. Wow, we're already starting to talk about 11,000s. It was just a few weeks ago that we were wondering if we were going to make the 10,000 again, and here we're talking 11,000. So amazing, amazing move here in the markets as they push their way upward, but nothing broken. Move up, pull back, move up, pull back, move up. It's just clockwork. Okay, similar to what we saw over here. Move up, pull back, move up, pull back, move up, and then we base for a while before seeing a little larger pullback. And this is something more along the lines of what I'm kind of looking for down the road. NASDAQ is just a monster. I went ahead and put an overhead line to give us an idea of what we could look at or might be looking at for overhead resistance on any push to the upside. Hard to look at the NASDAQ as anything but, bullish based on what we see here in front of us. Look, just straight up. Even these little three candles here, I said, just look like a pullback. Sure enough, we got the big break on it last Friday. Just amazing power by the NASDAQ as the buyers are trying to find stocks, that are going to hold up in the long run. And they've got it right. I'd look to the NASDAQ first. That's why I don't necessarily like to short the NASDAQ. I like to go long the NASDAQ. From a weekly perspective, too, up and over this overhead area, which was always kind of touch and go, and then you gave it a good week to get up and over, and I said, I will give the Bears a chance to pull it back down. Yeah, the Bears didn't even try. They didn't even try. We saw a little bit of a pullback later on in the week and looked like, well, okay, maybe this candle's going to end up being a little bit weaker by the time Friday closed, but nope, once the Friday opened, it was all over for the Bears. And they're not even fighting it. I think they're just going to let, very possible we can run right up into this overhead area. I'd almost be surprised if we didn't make it, actually, at this point. Very, very, very strong move right here. SPX on a 60-minute doing the same thing. Saw the gap up on Friday, run straight up. back up here into this 1150 mark. So we basically spent all of last Monday running up. Then we spent the next few days running down, only to cover all of the ground by the end of it at the end of Friday. But nothing broken here. Look, up, pull back, up, pull back, up. So looking at the 1170 area on any hard pushes, if we can get up and over this 1150, which is, there's some pretty good resistance setting up there. But we get up and over 1150, I think 1160, 1170 is definitely the place to start looking here for the SPX. From the weekly, 1200 is the bigger number, and then 1220 above that. This is where the NASDAQ's starting to hit some of these overhead levels already. They're getting right up into that area, and the SPX just hasn't followed yet, but doesn't mean it can't make it there over the next few weeks. The VIX on a daily as well, we've talked about this. It's flat. It's not going anywhere, and this is what makes me so curious. If we go ahead and look at, let's just take the SPX on a weekly, and you can see we've gone in the last 4 weeks clearly up over about 125 points straight upwards. What we're not seeing in the VIX is over the last few weeks any kind of a huge drop in the VIX. Now it is down overall, but it's not, plummeting. It's not down into this area or way down into this area. Is it a divergence? I don't know if I'm going to call it that. Is it good for one side or the other? No, not really. It's really kind of a neutral position where the VIX is at. It has plenty of room to run down, which gives the market plenty of room to run up if it would like to. The VIX has obviously got lots of room to run up, giving the market plenty of room to run down and confirm each other if it wants to. Do you see what I'm talking about? There's no confirmation here in the VIX whatsoever. It's just wandering sideways at this point. Bigger point here being there's no fear in the market. There's just no fear in the market. Everything's it's still very complacent right around in this area. And as long as it stays there, the markets are fine regardless of what direction it goes. It's not giving us any indication at this point of fear coming into the markets in any way, shape, or form. These white candles show fear coming into the market. These little wandering candles show us nothing. So over the last 4 weeks, you can see we really haven't moved anywhere. 4 weeks ago, we moved straight down, and for the last 3 weeks, we've gone nowhere, while the SPX has continuously moved upwards. Certainly over the last 3 weeks, we've seen no confirmation from the VIX of a move in either direction, especially a move to the upside. The VIX has not moved down in regards to the market moving up. So very curious. We'll watch the VIX and see. Just keep in mind that there is no confirmation there yet in the VIX. Apple's just a monster. Reaching 300, why not? Or close to 300. Sometimes people like to front run those bigger numbers, but there's no reason to think Apple couldn't do it. Look at this huge move up from 235 when 240 held. It was really, it was kind of the point where I said, oh, this thing's got some room to run. Now, would I have guessed that it would have gone from 235 to 292? No, I would not have guessed that. I would have thought there'd maybe be a move up, maybe a little bit of a pullback, and then we could have made it to 292. But I would never have expected we made it all in one fell swoop. But welcome to the power of Apple. It really is just a powerful, powerful stock. Now it is getting a little bit tired up here, but you know what? It's been getting, it's given us potential reversal candles the whole way up, and it hasn't done any of the sort. So you just got to play this, I think, Apple now on a more intraday basis. For those people that were buying back here in April, now they're actually starting to make money. It's finally starting to pay off for them. It took them a good 6 months to get anywhere with it, but look at it move up. It's doing a very, very, very handily job. I just don't expect any real major pullbacks in Apple anytime soon with earnings coming up here, I think in October, and then of course Christmas. So if it pulls back, watch this 280 mark. If that 280-ish area will hold, you might get another opportunity to get long this stock and make even more money on Apple if you haven't already made money on it. FAS on a 60-minute, you can see, and we talked about this, it's wandering around in here. Just, 5 days of sideways. We go up, we go down, but at the end of a week, we're right back to where we started. It's just wandering sideways. Keep playing this from an intraday standpoint if you're going to keep continuing with these 3-time ETFs. And I don't care if it's FAS, FAZ, or any of the other 3-time ETFs. Continue to play them on an intraday basis. There's not enough direction in the market right now to really throw your money at it and let it set for a few days. Just watch for certain breaks. Here on FAS, I think I'd maybe look for something up over 22.50, $23. Very speculative there. $24 is really where I'd like you to wait to get in to the long, and then back below about $20.50 for a short. FAZ, same type of look, kind of obviously inverted here. Came up, hit the 20. Now we're running straight back down again. I think any break below about 12.75 gets you an opportunity for a little bit of money, but ultimately below 12.25 is where you want to get short, and above 14.50 is where you want to get long. That'll do it for today, guys. Be back with you again tomorrow night. Okay, so let's watch these first few days very carefully. No reason to think we can't drift up a little bit more. But if these levels start to get broken, maybe we get our pullback that I've been waiting for. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow night. See you then.